All right, hey man, welcome back in. The Bros Watch the Boys. This will be our season 2, episode 5 review recap.
Yes.
Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Totally
Um,
the first time we've done this. We definitely have not done this
Absolutely.
before.
Speaking of which, apologies for not having this up on Friday. We ran into some major malfunctions with the sound. We recorded what I thought was a very funny episode, but just didn't record.
I,
So here
I
we
don't know
are
what
back
you're
again.
talking about. This is the first time I'm doing this.
Back again today to see if this works, and hopefully we'll get this up, and everybody can join along with us as we go through the season. As always, major gigantic spoiler alert. So you've been warned. Um, Bro, what popped out in this episode first for you?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the Deep. He now has his wife that was chosen for him by the church. He did a PSA where he has a extremely unnecessary. He does that like hero pose, like, "Hey
Hey, you
guys, knock
guys,
it
knock it
off."
off.
Yeah. So that's going on. He's like he's getting less and less screen time now, but it's like hilarious every time. So as long as they keep bringing that back, the deeps shenanigans.
Yeah, no, he's great. Chase Crawford really knocks it out of the park playing him.
Yeah, he does.
Um,
Also, like the fake like acting, like you're acting. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, it's good, and I'm interested to see how it plays in because there's no real reason for them to bring him back into the seven now.
There really isn't.
They even blew him off, with the whole whale deal. What was that freaking episode 3, I think, when he
Three, I think. Yeah,
sacrificed his whale. But
yeah. Lucy,
yeah, so
right? Wasn't that her name?
it's gonna be really interesting to see. Maybe we'll get some kind of battle between his followers from the church and Stormfront followers. Her 5 million soldiers she keeps talking about. So that'll
Yeah,
be interesting to see
that
if
would
that.
be an interesting way to have like an in
It,
season battle. It wouldn't be a
yeah,
battle, but it would be like an internet thing, right?
right. And then that kind of segues us into the next part. She mentions later when she's being real bitchy towards A Train. She mentions that she used to be in the church and that she left
Yeah.
because they let anybody in.
Uh huh.
And she's definitely
I
being a lot more. She's definitely being a lot more liberal with throwing around her casual racism now.
and I think that might be the key to taking her down, right? Like if she was maybe they kicked her out of the church and said like you're not welcome here because we welcome everyone, and maybe they have some dirt on Stormfront.
Well, maybe
So
they do. Maybe they do. Um, or maybe she's still in it and she's just messing around. She's playing a
yeah,
little woo woo.
yeah,
So we'll see. I don't even know what I just said there. That's not really a thing that people
yeah.
say. But that's just what happened. I don't have my
Yeah.
coffee quite in me yet.
Let's accept it and move past.
Yeah. Move. Speaking of move past, what do we take on Kimiko? Kind of adding to her character arc, shifting her character arc. She's kind of going
Yeah,
back to when we first met her, real wild. Except now she's kind of focused with her. And first of all, when she goes to the Russian guys, I
oh,
literally when she rips that dude's face clean off and they show it,
just the
I was like, holy shit.
yeah. And like I like how they every time like a superhero goes up against someone that's not a superhero, you see the difference in strength, and
Right.
like they show that very like she peels his face off, man.
Yeah.
Like that's not
Yeah.
easy to do. And
Yeah.
she literally peels his face off and then just like takes a few gunshots and they don't even affect her, and then she like
Yeah.
demolishes the other guys. She puts the gun in the other guy's face,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
so brutal.
And
Um,
and they, like you said, they do a really nice job throughout the show of kind of being like, no, like normal people, unless you're super like strategic and smart and have a lot of other things you can pull in, you have no
yeah.
chance of surviving a suit
Yeah,
coming
like
after you.
literally no chance. And yeah, it's interesting like her working with Sherry to take down some gang members. Like it's hits put out by other gang members,
Right.
but she's Kimiko is obviously angry about her brother, and she's finding a funnel for that. So she's
Yeah.
using Sherry's like contracts to take out some bad people and use her
Right.
superpowers.
Right. And then we do get Frenchie kind of giving up on her now. He thought he was gonna make a stand or make a point and get
Yes.
through to her. She didn't want to do it, and I think we know that Kimiko can talk, and she still chooses not to, not even
Yeah.
to explain to Frenchie. And so he gets mad and tells her to f off.
Yeah. he gets especially mad when she starts signing to him, and he goes, "I don't understand because you won't teach me."
Right, right.
And
She
then
doesn't want him. She doesn't want him to understand, but she could
yeah,
talk to
so
him. We know that she
I
could talk.
think I think that hurt a little bit more of like uh, he still wants her to let him in, and
Yeah.
she won't. So that definitely does
Well,
some damage emotionally.
oh yeah.
Um,
But the face rip was definitely like a stand up out of your chair moment. I was like, oh
oh
my
yeah,
god.
yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I
Uh,
hate that. I hate that so much.
but
Um,
well, go ahead.
so another thing that was very short in the show, but is definitely going to have some lasting consequences, was Sean Ashmore just
Yes. Yes.
being in there for maybe 2 seconds,
Yeah. Yeah.
just a call to a nursing home or a hospital or something. Um,
It seemed to me like a psychiatric type word because when Starlight kind of sneaky um, gets into Stormfront's computer, the first email, like all those emails she sees,
yeah,
are from that same care facility addressed to her. So good to see Sean Ashmore back. I think he's a really good actor. I like him.
yeah.
So it's
They
gonna
would
be
not bring him. They would not bring him in as a cameo or a small part. So he's
right,
definitely going to
right.
have a big part.
Well, they did
Um,
say he was going to play a part in season 2, kind of in all the press leading up. So it's going to be interesting to see just how much of a part, if they're going to carry him over to season 3 with more effects, or more lasting effects within the storyline. So,
yeah,
um, and kind of staying with that whole Stormfront Starlight deal, we get Stormfront kind of playing around with everybody, trying to mess with everybody, right? She brings in Starlight's mom, knowing that she doesn't want to have anything to do with her mom. There wasn't really a whole lot there other than Starlight still hates her mom, but I think
yeah.
we see Stormfront kind of, she's messing with everybody, right? She's saying all that stuff to A Train
And she
and
keeps saying, "I'm just here to help," and we don't know what
right,
help means. It's probably really
right,
bad.
absolutely, absolutely, and I think the other thing too is her messing with Homelander and getting
Yeah,
Homelander to essentially break down and come to her for help. Um,
yeah.
Instead of lasering down 500 people in the town square like he wanted to do but didn't.
Yes. Yeah.
And we see Homelander starting to break for the first time, because he thought everybody would just keep loving him.
Yes.
He accidentally kills that kid in the village, and then people turn on him, so he goes to Stormfront for help, and she gets the meme squad on it.
Yep.
And you know
Yeah, she's got her own Russian troll factory, essentially.
right, right.
So we that could never happen in America, right? Our
No,
social media
never.
would never be overrun by a bunch of Russian trolls, right?
Never. Not here. Not here,
um,
baby.
yeah. uh, but yeah, when Homelander lasered the crowd, I knew from the commercials that was a dream. I was like, there's no way he would do that. But him breaking was he's got that man child mentality, and he's like, well,
Yeah.
everyone has to love me. I'm Homelander, right? And then
Right,
he
right,
sees
right.
the first time where people actually are turning against him, and it has a pretty lasting effect on him. And he goes running to Stormfront as a mom figure.
Right. Yeah, and well, we'll get back to that in a little bit. Um,
Yeah,
but we did skip over one thing. As I've been calling him since the episode came out yesterday, Emo or Bill Emo Bilcher.
yeah,
Kind of down in the dumps to start the
yeah,
episode. Really in his feelings, and kind of Huey and MM pull him out. But then we get Black Noir coming in. Great scene with his auntie Judy and his pup Terror. I think her name was Judy.
yeah.
I know the
I
dog's
can't
name was
remember now.
Terror.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Judy sounds right.
yeah, that was a really good. I enjoyed the good way they kind of structured that. We know Butcher doesn't speak to his parents now. He basically hates his
Yep.
parents for whatever reason. Loves his dog, and his dog loves his girlfriend. And I'm not
Yes.
talking about Butcher's girlfriend. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Huey touches his girlfriend, and
yeah.
some stuff
Little,
happens.
Little Miss Piggy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You definitely see Butcher get a little bit of his mojo back when he has that meeting with his aunt and with Terror. Um,
right.
so like he gets a little flash of like why he started doing what he was doing in the first place of fighting Soups, and he's like, man, kind of snaps out of it. He was going to sacrifice himself to Black Noir, but
Hmm.
Huey and Mother's Milk stop him, so
Right.
that's a good one. Um,
So he kind of owes him one now too. I think. I think that's
Yeah,
gonna
and
it's gonna play in a couple episodes. I'm sure.
yeah. The funniest part is like Black Noir. He's supposed to be like a ninja. He's supposed to be like a Batman, like infiltration specialist.
Yeah.
He's just walking through the house, setting off all the explosives. It's not very stealthy.
But how do you know he didn't do that on purpose?
I mean, he very well could have, because like he pops out of the shadows when at the end,
There's all kinds
just
of
filled with
nails.
shrapnel.
Yeah, nails and glass in him.
Yeah, he's got a
That was
whole
a
bunch
pretty
of
cool
stuff.
scene.
Yeah,
Then anyway, getting back to what we were kind of just talking about, Homelander goes to Stormfront for help on more than one front.
yes, yeah,
And it's funny. It's funny you mentioned the kind of mother role, because we know him and Stillwell were getting it on because he, you know,
yes,
has that very huge Oedipal complex type thing that he deals with.
yes, yeah. The Oedipus complex is pretty large here.
So he goes to Stormfront, and they're back at his place in the tower, right? I think that's where they were. And
Yeah.
we get some freaky deaky superhero flying, smashing into wall sex.
Yes, and something that I thought about this morning was like, the other 7 live there. Like the other 5 people, they
Yes.
live there, so they're just hearing this like crashing and everything.
Yeah.
And we also we do get probably the funniest sex scene I've ever seen, because there is a lot going. There's so many things that went on.
I throw you through a wall, you throw me through a wall.
Yeah, and then
here,
like
laser. Why don't you laser my hoo-haws real quick?
Yeah, shut up
You
and
know?
laser my tits, you pussy,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, make it hurt.
Yeah, we find out in terms of story, we actually get that Stormfront is incredibly durable.
Yeah, she heals
she's-
very quickly.
Not even that she heals. I mean, he couldn't even punch a hole in her to begin with. So
Well, we don't know how hard he was doing it, but we knew that she. I mean, her.
it seemed
chest-
like he was going full bore.
the
he was going
hole
full-
that he was trying to put in her. She healed like that. So,
Yeah,
you know, I can't. I mean, moving forward, I can't wait to see more of Stormfront's background. Is she Liberty? Is she not Liberty? Did she?
yes.
Have they kind of planted that? Was she an associate?
Is
of
Liberty being taken care of by Shawn Ashmore? Is she actually
is
old?
Liberty, yeah, or is it? I think it's gonna be someone with a key to take her down, whether it's evidence or they have a power and she's keeping them sedated at this place, and that's Shawn
Yeah.
Ashmore's like her guy to check in with. I think that's where it's going.
Agreed.
And
Also,
we still go.
go ahead.
No,
No, you.
no.
Okay. So, I still have this thought that like we don't know who the first soup was, and I still think that there might be an original soup that produces this Compound V, or
Yeah.
in some way has the key to the Compound V that they're keeping alive. It's hard to tell, because in the show they've said that, well, this was just some pharmaceutical company that was founded by a former Nazi and all this stuff.
Mhm.
So it's possible that they're leaning toward it's just a compound that they happened upon, but it would make more sense to me that no one knows how it's manufactured because it's being made from another person.
Right.
So
Yeah, and
that
I'm
could
with you.
easily be.
I'm with you in that kind of stream of thinking, but I think so. We know that Stormfront's much older than Homelander, right? And they had kind of told
Maybe.
they had kind of told Homelander that he was the original Soup, and he's only
Yeah.
been around for not that long in Vought history, and so
Yes.
I think
And on
the-
top of that, we know that Soldier Boy existed in World War II, so we know that
Right.
Homelander is not the first Soup.
Right. So I think there's somewhere where maybe that Soldier Boy was the first one, or whatever they've done, kind of along those lines. But I think also that in the Compound V, like Homelander and Stormfront, because they're so strong, they're kind of like mutations, right? They're mutations of the Compound V. Like A-Train's kind of normal. Starlight, she's strong, but she's pretty normal. Queen
Yeah.
Maeve is just normal, like a normal Soup. And then you have these Soups who are indestructible. Homelander, Stormfront, who can fly very fast, faster than anybody else. They have the laser eyes. Stormfront doesn't have the eyes, but she's got the hands, laser hands. Palpatine-esque laser hands, and so I think that's gonna be. Like you said, whoever's being kept in that facility, they've got something to do with it. They know something or have some kind of power that can
Yes.
take everybody down. Or maybe it's just Stormfront. Maybe Vought. Maybe Edgar has has someone locked away somewhere else. Maybe there's two people.
Yeah,
and Stormfront's
there might be
kinda
someone
doing
in
her
the
own
basement
deal.
of Vought.
Right. So, anyways, bro, thanks for joining me again. Hopefully this recorded and we'll get it thrown up on the internet.
Better have.
Guys, who knows? I'm just a tennis coach who kind of plays around with podcasts. So, like, rate, subscribe down there. Give us a follow. We'll be on the Sipping Around channel, so make sure you check out our Sipping Around episodes too that we have on there. And we'll see everybody later.
Peace.